Got Ty Hudson stopping by.
What's going on, Mark?
Ty, what's going on?
Oh, just chilling, drinking a cranberry limeade and enjoying a delicious cigar.
Okay. All right. Is that a cigar that you broke out for National Signing Day?
Yeah, plenty for Hog. Well, there's some things that Hog fans should be excited about. I mean, was it a top 5 SEC class? No. When does that ever happen here? Never. But they got a couple flips late, Mark. So they're feeling pretty good.
Tell us about the flips.
Well, we got to work on pronouncing his last name, or when I say we, I mean me. But they flipped UCLA 4-star quarterback Madden Iamaleava. And I'm just going to call him Madden the rest of the night because I'm not going to keep trying to do that because it's that thing where you think about it and then you mess it up. So you know who I'm talking about now.
I think you nailed it.
When I say Madden. Yeah, big flip. And a guy with a lot of potential. We know who his big brother is. So very nice flip for Arkansas. Bit of a surprise. And then they flipped Jace Brown, also from Long Beach, California, who was a UCLA commit. Like this kid a lot. Big-bodied receiver. Apparently he's been killing it in these 7-on-7 camps and has looked really good. Kind of surprised he hasn't gotten that 4th star yet. Now that he's committed to Arkansas, I'm sure that won't happen, as Arkansas fans will tell you. They feel like they get cheated when these kids commit to Arkansas in terms of star power. But yeah, a couple nice flips there.
Did this class turn out to be as good as people expected or better?
That's a good question. Well, so Tavion Wallace, the 4-star linebacker, he's about 6'1", 6'2", 215, 220. Of course, there's a lot to love about this kid, right? He's out of Georgia. Again, 4-star, considered a top, one of the better linebackers in the class. A lot of rumors that he was going to flip to Florida State. And that was kind of the narrative going into the last I want to say a couple of weeks. Well, he ended up signing with Arkansas. So that was nice. And then they kept Kevin Otis. I don't know that there was any real threat of him not signing with Arkansas, but I do remember his recruiting was popping there for a while. And this is a guy on some recruiting sites that had him as high as a 4-star, unless that's changed. And then Grayson Wilson, who was also just as surprised as Hog fans were when they flipped Madden from UCLA, the quarterback, but he's also a 3 or 4-star committed quarterback, and he signed with Arkansas. I don't know if I would say this is about on par with what Sam does. It's going to be about a top 30 recruiting class. It's probably not a big surprise. It's the individuals, again, with Madden, that's probably the nicest bit of surprise, and the fact that it came on signing day I'm sure a lot of Hog fans will tell you this probably was a little bit better than they thought. But the one, well, there's a couple of negatives, right? I mean, they whiffed on some kids, as everybody does going through the recruiting cycles. But Connor Howes, who signed with Ole Miss today, they were expecting him to sign, but he ended up signing. He was committed to Arkansas, and he ended up signing with Ole Miss. But he's a 4-star, 247 composite 4-star, and he was someone I really wanted them to nail down, and unfortunately they couldn't do it. But overall, I mean, it's about what I expect, and I think most fans would agree with that. I'm sure they would love to see it be better, but we got to be real here. This is a team that's won 10 games combined the last 2 seasons.
Ty Hudson's here, folks, from Tusk Talk with Ty. It's right here on YouTube. Check out his work right there, covering Arkansas athletics across the board. Of course, basketball's in full swing now at this point. Sam Pittman got a contract extension. How is Razorback Nation taking that?
Well, I'll say this. The announcement was that they're keeping him. He gets, if I understand it correctly, if he wins the bowl game, that extension is automatically added on. I could be wrong about that. You're really good at keeping up. You're better at keeping up with that than I am. I'll tell you that much. I think his contract says if he gets that 7th win, it's an extension. But again, I'm bad about the contract stuff. But fans not really thrilled. If I'm being honest, let's just be real. Not thrilled about the fact that he went 6-6 just 2 years ago. He won 4 games last year, with the only notable win being the first time that Arkansas ever went down to Gainesville and beat Florida, and that was not a good Florida team. So going 4-8, and then you turn around this year, with all the hype around. Sorry, I got people DMing me and I'm getting distracted. All the hype around Petrino and bringing in this kid from Boise State, the quarterback, Talon Green. There was some excitement that maybe, hey, Petrino's back. Obviously, you and I talked about that when that all went down. That was nuts. But I guess the excitement was that this was going to be a high-flying, high-scoring offense. They're going to get 34, 35 points a game. They're going to rack up tons of yards. They got the yardage part right. They just couldn't score a whole lot. So, yeah, 6-6 is just not enough. And a lot of people, I would argue a lot of Hog fans they're ready to walk away from Sam. So here we go. Year 6, he's got even more pressure on him. And I don't envy the man. Outside of his wallet, I don't envy the man.
But you're one of the few teams, it seems, out there that seems to be pretty settled at quarterback, right? It's just going to be Talon Green next year.
With Malachi in the portal, first off, I don't know what to expect out of Madden. I have a hard time seeing, and Mark, you've done this for a long time. Yes, freshman quarterback have come in and beaten the odds before. They've done it at Arkansas. I can remember when Mitch Mustaine came in, 5-star quarterback out of Springdale, a long time ago. He didn't win the starting job until they put him in late in the game against USC. They're already getting frog stomped, and he takes the place of Casey Dick, and then he's the starting freshman quarterback the remainder of the season until they put Casey Dick back in at the end of the year. It's rare that a true freshman quarterback is going to come in and dethrone, especially a guy like Talon, who now has a year under his belt in the Petrino offense. He's got all kinds of athletic ability, a lot of stuff he needs to work on. Again, he's definitely not above criticism whatsoever. But, it's pretty – I would argue it's settled, but I wonder how much these youngsters, maybe push them a little bit. But what I think a lot of fans wanted, they wanted to keep Malachi out of that portal, and they wanted a real battle in the offseason between Malachi and Talon Green. And unless Malachi withdraws his name, assuming he puts his name in next Monday when the portal officially opens, they're going to have just Talon, and that's really going to be it. I don't see KJ Jackson, who'll be a redshirt freshman, left-handed quarterback, by the way, also a dual threat kid, really good arm, actually. I don't see him pushing Talon. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it unless he makes a huge leap, which is always possible. But yeah, the quarterback room, I would say, it feels pretty much settled. I'm curious how much the younger quarterbacks get involved, if they push for maybe one of these guys push KJ Jackson, and then you kind of go from there. But I'm with the fans on this. I really wanted Malachi back, and I wanted to see some pressure ratcheted up on Talon Green.
All right, Ty. When is the next time you're going to be live so people know when to catch you?
I'm hoping tomorrow. I've been crazy busy this week I've been live and I've got stuff going on with Patreon. With the portal, it's nuts right now. It's my Patreon Discord chat's going crazy, and trying to do my best keeping up with that and the portal targets and everything. I'm hoping I can go live tomorrow. If not, I'll for sure be back for the Arkansas post game for basketball, but possibility of tomorrow. But so much to cover. As you know, this time of year, it's crazy. You're busier than I am. So with all these SEC folks coming on here, and then you've got your hey, I want your opinion though, really quick. I may have missed it. I know you got other callers. How'd you feel about Alabama getting in? I want to know.
Alabama has a better resume than Miami.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I know that they lost an ugly game at Oklahoma. They didn't just lose. They got stomped. They scored 3 points. Scoring 3 points looks ugly, but for some reason, people get more offended by an offense scoring 3 points than like a defense giving up 45 or 50 points. That seems to be fine with them.
Yeah.
But yes, atrocious loss. The Vandy loss looked horrible at the time. Then Vandy played good football for a few weeks and it looked better. And then they tailed off at the end of the year. So the Vandy loss, that's not a good loss either. But by the way, I'm glad you brought that up, because if I actually kick myself in gear, like I don't have anything else to do, but I've got all sorts of comparisons between Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, South Carolina, SMU, Arizona State, Iowa State, because the loser of that game's not getting in, but just to appease people and show that I'm going to, compare them all down to the hilt. I got all the 9-3, 10-2 teams here, and nobody has 4 wins like Georgia, South Carolina, LSU, and Missouri. None of these teams.
You sound like an SEC homer, Mark.
Tell it like it is.
I know you do. I've been around for a little bit. I know you do. Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, Ty. Good to see you.
You too, man.
Yeah, we'll catch you soon.
Absolutely. Take it easy.